folks and everybody, welcome back to the channel, Woody's Corner. Today we're on our way back from another camping trip, just a quick weekend trip. So just a little bit of content. I wanted to kind of update on a couple of the service items that we did since our hot springs trip, the last video. So I think I mentioned the only issue we had last trip was at the end when we turned the air system on, you know, it kind of choked up the hot water. And it turned out, I think the switch, the depressed toggle that blows that air through that Versa valve, I had replaced that switch along with all the Versa valve and all that. And I think it was a bad switch. I think air was getting through it every time I turned the air system on to build air. And it would like turn that off. Anyway, so I just cut that. I don't use it for winterization. And so I just capped it off and we hadn't had a problem. So this trip was flawless. Everything mechanically was great. So we did do a quick last run to finish up some of the service items. Mainly, we wanted the whole transmission to be serviced because it hadn't since the time we owned it. So that, you know, required the external filter, internal filter, all new fluid, gasket. So Northwest Truck Repair in Springdale did a really good job with all this. Become our new repair friends. The other thing we definitely had an oil leak, and it was all around the oil pan. So they had to order that kit, you know, gasket, and just did a whole new oil service, and that's all tightened up and cleaned up. Had them put a braided line on the auxiliary air compressor, did a full lube job underneath, and then they also, remember we had the issue with the generator where we thought it was overfilled, and it was. Had them empty the oil, and it emptied. There was 2.5 gallons, and it was actually probably a little bit more than that in there because I'd already released a little bit. And all it was supposed to take was apparently 1.5 gallons. So all of that seems to be resolved. We don't have any more blowout through the breather tube. The pan is all dry, no oil on this trip. So we're looking good. Everything inside's working great. So that was that. And then what we did is we went to the port of Kimberling City, right outside of Branson, Missouri. Port of Kimberling City, Marina and Resort Park, RV Park. It's really nice. First time we've actually driven down in there. And all the sites were pretty good size, pretty level. And but you're right on the water, the Table Rock Lake. And there's all kinds of stuff there. I'll let Sherry kind of update on the park, what she thought of it.
Yeah, I think we were pleasantly surprised with the park. All the trips we've made to Branson from Northwest Arkansas, this was, as Scott said, the first time we dropped down into the Port of Kimberling Marina and Resort. Our spot looked over the water. We started at Site 14, but we had friends that were in another part of the campground, so we moved to Site 63. Really convenient to the small town of Kimberling City. There was a restaurant on the pier, at the marina, at the park, so we were able to have dinner there last night, and then ventured out into Kimberling City Saturday morning for some breakfast at a diner, and then a fabulous ice cream store that actually served samples of different flavors of ice cream in an ice cream flight. Much like a beer flight, but samples of ice cream. So that was fabulous. We were with 2 other couples on this weekend, and really feel like we would return to that park. So it was just a great weekend. A little rainy, a little cool, but campfire weather, and all in all, just a great weekend.
Tell them about the houseboats.
Yes, we also, at the marina, we saw probably more large boats stored there at the marina than any other area we've actually camped at on Beaver Lake or Table Rock Lake. And we were able to take a look at one of the rental houseboats, I think 75 feet long.
Okay, 75, yeah, it's called 5-star houseboat rental.
Yes.
They have like 8.
6 bedrooms. Looked like a lot of fun, so could be that sometime this summer we'll get together with a group and rent one of those for probably 4 nights and spend some time on Table Rock Lake. But yeah, that was a lot of fun to look at those houseboats. But all in all, a great park, and hope we get to come back and visit it again soon.
And then lastly, you know, our friends told us about the route they took to get to Kimberling City because they live in North Bella Vista area. But and it's basically along this Interstate 44, and then it cuts into South Springfield on 60, and then catches 160/13 all the way to Kimberling City. And it was so nice. Not really much of the hill action like you get on Highway 65 for anybody that's listening that's driven this before. So for these vehicles, it's so much better on the fuel mileage, and it was all straight, not too many stoplights. It was really a nice drive. We've been coming up 412 Harrison over to, that way up to Branson, and there was just too many curvy roads, and this is just the way to go. So for anybody listening that needs a good way to get from Northwest Arkansas to Branson, it's another way to do it. It's a lot easier to drive for a big rig.
And we will be on the road again Friday for the Memorial Day weekend, and we will take this route again back to actually Branson and stay at our much loved KOA campground in Branson. So we'll see you next time.
We'll do a video next week. Thank you.